Round one, fight!
What's going on, BW Sports One World? It is the Lion, and we're here with another interview for Combat Zone. That's right, the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships own Brandon Malo Lambert. What is going on, sir? Thank you for coming on with me.
Absolutely, man. I'm just enjoying my Saturday right now. You know, we're 6 days away from the fight. Just gearing up, man. I cannot wait. And I appreciate the time for you, giving me your time to get on the platform. This is awesome.
Oh, definitely. Like we were kind of joking around before the show. I kind of made a boo-boo, and then Vince kind of made a boo-boo, so our boo-boos kind of X'd out each other. Now here we are.
Here we are. Teamworks make the dream work, baby.
There you go. So not everybody in the BW Sports One world is familiar with bare knuckle fighting. I'm getting them into that more so with the fighters and all that. So let's tell a little bit of background, because I know that this is your actual debut in bare knuckle fighting, but you have a tremendous back career as far as in Muay Thai and MMA style. So why don't you tell everybody kind of your background in fighting?
So I mean, I grew up in Muay Thai. Lived in Thailand for a while, fought Muay Thai all over the country there. I don't have any fights in the United States. I'm actually the only bare knuckle fighter for bare knuckle fighting championships that they've ever signed that they've never seen fight. So that's kind of cool. So that's got a big story behind it. There's a lot of people talking about this fight. There's a lot of people wanting to see me go out there and get knocked out. A very small percentage of people that want to see me go out there and knock somebody else out. So yeah, I'm doing it for the haters and I'm doing it for the fans, but I have a big reason why I'm doing this. We can get into that later, but with bare knuckle, when I did Muay Thai, we did it with wraps. We didn't have, the 8-ounce or the 12-ounce or the 10-ounce gloves. We did them with wraps basically. Mm-hmm. And, I wanted to go, once I started to get back into combat sports, I wanted to go kickboxing and maybe MMA. But then when I got introduced to bare knuckle, I knew that was the sport that I needed to go into. So I hit the campaign hard, and I make my debut on February 5th.
Well, I know I cannot wait to see you debut in that squared circle. I know, like I've done my research on you. I've never got a chance to actually watch you fight yet, but this is what I'm looking for, because it is totally different. Like you said, you had the wraps, you didn't have gloves, you had the wraps. So it's a little bit similar in that aspect, but you still have a little bit more in Muay Thai than you do in this.
Yeah.
And again, with the Muay Thai, a lot of clinching, a lot of kicking, a lot of, knee throws, elbows and stuff like that. So how has your training evolved from Muay Thai training to bare knuckle fighting?
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you said bare knuckle fighting also, not bare knuckle boxing. So
there is a difference.
Thank you for that. But yeah, so the biggest is my weight distribution. So like I was very much light on my front foot, because that's where I check my kicks at. And I had to learn to, get my base. I had to learn to do the pure boxing base. And with the clinches, I'm used to being able to throw you around, throw you down. You can't do that in bare knuckle. And you also can't do a plumb. So that was a big difference. And you got to have an active clinch. Like, Muay Thai, we can stay there and knee. We can throw an elbow. But in bare knuckle, you've got to grab with one hand and throw with the other. So that's a little odd.
Now, real quick, I'm not meaning to interrupt you, Brandon, but kind of fill people in on what that plumb is, that plumb movement.
So the plumb, you're gonna grab the head, basically the back of the head here,
Mm-hmm.
and you're trying to force them down and control their posture so you can move them around side to side, frontwards, backwards, so you can put them where you want to strike at. And with this here, I mean, you can just grab the head or grab the neck and move them around a little bit, but you can't actually grab a hold of them and physically put them where you want them. And that's really different for me, because I'm used to grabbing with both hands to get control and then being able to use my knees to do strikes.
Mm-hmm.
So the first few sparring days were a little weird, because when we would get into the clinch, that's the first thing I wanted to do is throw a knee, and you just cannot do that.
They frown upon that in BKFC.
Yeah, they take points and shit.
Now, on a positive note from Muay Thai, the way you fought in Thailand and Muay Thai to bare knuckle is, again, the wraps, the hand wraps. You're not using gloves, so you're used to kind of being naked, per se, on your hands, compared to a lot of MMA fighters or pure boxers that come into the sport with either 4 or 6 ounce gloves or the 12 to 16 ounce gloves, regardless of whatever they're in. Explain that. And I see that being a benefit that you have right now, coming into the sport. Explain how you don't have those big gloves to block.
Yep.
But with your training in Muay Thai, with just the wraps, you're used to pinpointing those shots.
Yeah, you really have to pick your shots. Like in bare knuckle, you do see some brawlers that just throw haymakers or whatnot. But you don't really see that a lot, because you have to be accurate where you're throwing your strikes, because you don't have padding. So if you hit an elbow, your hand's broken. You hit,
Right.
So with the gloves, the guard's a lot different too, because you can do the heart with the gloves, make a little heart with the gloves, and you can block a gloved punch with that. You can't block like that and expect a bare knuckle fist not to slip through there. And it'll also, you'll notice people, they'll throw a lot of power. They'll connect with like a chin or the head, and then their next few shots aren't as powerful.
Mm-hmm.
You can't throw haymakers in this sport. You can't throw with full power. You need timing and precision to be able to put your opponent down. And a lot of people go and are looking for the knockout, because in a with your gloves on, you don't get a whole lot of cuts. So
Mm-hmm.
you're really trying to stop or TKO your opponent. And bare knuckle, all you got to do is cut them. There's a lot of fights getting stopped by cuts.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's a pick your poison. Do you want to get knocked unconscious, or do you want to have some scars on your face? The
I've had both.
yeah, me too. I mean, the big difference is that when you get hit with a glove, you got hit with a punch and you can still look forward. When you get hit with bare knuckle, you're like, what the fuck was that? And you got hit, but you don't know what you got hit with, because it's more of a rattle than it is with an impact.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I like to say, it's kind of like stubbing your knee or your shin on a trailer hitch. You don't see
you gotta
it.
love that feeling, don't you?
Yeah, it's there. You don't see it, but when it hits you, it you know what you hit. So that's the biggest difference, I think, and being able to take those and being able to know what it's going to feel like when you do connect, because a lot of people they'll hit you hard and they'll hurt their hand when they do connect, and then they can't follow up because they're thinking, damn, that hurt. But if you know what to expect, you're still throwing, and you can catch them with another 2-3 shots before they can even put their hands back up.
Right. Well, let's kind of jump into the BKFC side. You're debuting. You're going up against Jared Grant. I know that you were trying to get the good old UK guy for a while.
Yep.
That didn't pan out. And yet. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the key word. Now, I know that you've had kind of a delay in your debut, because I'm sure the COVID happened and it was delaying fights left and right. So you've kind of been in this almost a year, if I'm not mistaken. So trying to get involved with it more.
Yeah, I mean, I would say almost a year. I'd say like 6 or 7 months.
Okay.
I originally talked to Nate Shook about getting on to toe the line, because they're like, hey, this is our feeder league. Everybody starts here. So I was supposed to fight in like November or October, and that didn't happen. And then I was supposed to fight December 11th in Biloxi for Toe the Line. And then the Kansas card got canceled. So they moved the BKFC card, BKFC 15, to Biloxi and canceled the Toe the Line.
Gotcha.
And so I was a little bit bummed about that, you know what I mean? And then I went to England to go troll Tyler. And I thought he was going to come home, and he didn't. He stayed in Vegas. And the day I got into London, they shut that down. So I ended up flying back home early because I was going to stay throughout the new year. And I got home, I think, December 27th. And then the morning of December 28th, I got a text from Nate and it said, "Hey, can you make 135 by February 5th? And my exact reply was, "I'll make any weight you need me to make on February 5th. So that's how that happened. And I thought that maybe I was going to fight Chop Corley because I had went off on him a little bit. I don't like that guy. And I knew that he was trying to come in to make his debut. He bitched out and didn't fight Travis Thompson on Toe the Line. He skedaddled out of that. I just don't like people that duck fights. That's why I don't like Dat Win either. I want to fight Dat Win. Dat Win's the next guy I want to fight if I can't get Tyler Goodjohn. And I don't like Dat because he pulled out of the fight with Reggie and fucked Reggie out of the title shot because Reggie would have stopped him in Miami. And if I'd have been anywhere near weight, I would have fought Reggie because I just want to get in there and fight the best names. I want to go in there and prove that I belong. I'm not looking to come in here and fight people. I mean, I'm not going against the debut guy. I'm not going against the 1-1 guy. I'm not going against the guy that's never won a fight. I'm going against the 2-0 guy that has 2 stoppages, that has a wealth of experience, that's a lot younger than me, a lot faster than me, way more experienced right now. I haven't had a fight in almost 14 years. But they're putting me in there with him for a reason. And I'm going to prove what that reason is on February 5th. A lot of people are talking shit like, "Oh, you shouldn't be calling this guy out and that guy out." I'm going to show everybody on February 5th exactly why I am calling everybody out and exactly what I'm going to do to them because I will stop Dat Win this year.
I want to see that. I just can't wait till next week, man. I want to see you put hands on that guy. And no offense to Jared, I don't know him personally, haven't talked to him yet, but I've been on this side of the fighting industry for a long time. I did a couple years of amateur MMA after boxing and all that. It is what it is. I'm old and fat now. I'm not going to do it again. But when you see guys and you see, like you were saying, a lot of people duck fights, and it's not just in bare knuckle. It's boxing, it's MMA, it's everything. And I'm so with you on that. I'm so sick and tired of seeing people pussyfoot around to just get the fights that they want to try to project their career rather than taking the road that normal people, air quotes, normal people have to go through and take, But on that aspect, you do have a height advantage. You are what, 4 to 6 inches taller, I think, if not more.
Yeah, I think I'm 6 inches taller than him. Maybe 5.
Okay.
I keep seeing that his height's like totally different, and my height's always totally different. So I would say anywhere between 4 and 5 inches is what I got on him.
Okay, and then with Muay Thai, that would be outstanding to have in a Muay Thai fight because you're sitting there waiting for him and you can connect on legs and everything. Now in bare knuckle, where I know that he likes to kind of, I don't want to say hesitate, but start off a little bit slower than normal. He goes in, he's a inside the body type fighter. With you being having the height advantage on that, I mean, your strategy, I'm assuming, and you don't have to tell the world what your full strategy is besides knocking him out, but, staying on that outside, catching him every time he tries to come in, and then seeing an opening and go for it. Explain, because a lot of people, like I said, casual fans don't understand what we're talking about. Kind of elaborate that part.
Well, so like he's a smaller guy, so he's going to want to try to get onto the inside and box with me there. With me being taller and longer, I have a better opportunity of keeping my range, picking him apart from the outside and not letting him get in on me, catching me with wild hooks or uppercuts or whatever. But I mean, to be 100% honest, man, like it's no secret what I'm going to do. Like I don't have anything to fucking lose. If I go out there and get KO'd like Donatelli or whatever his name was, that's what people are expecting. I'm coming through and I'm coming forward. Once they say knuckle up, I'm stepping forward and I'm throwing punches. So I don't give a fuck about the range I don't give a fuck about the clinch. I'm showing up on February 5th to bring pure fucking violence, and I can't do that by sitting around picking my shots. I'm coming after Jared Grant because he's standing in the way of everything I ever wanted, and I'm not going to let anybody stop me from getting that dub on February 5th.
I like it. And this is part of that thing that people on the outside looking in see, that have been around the sport. They see the determination and the fire in people's eyes. They see, like you said, the nothing to lose in one side with everything to lose on the other. A 2-0 guy's got a lot to lose against a debut fighter in the organization, or the sport in this aspect.
Yeah.
So go at it, brother. Give him hell. I can't wait to see.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't have any pressure. I mean, I'm expected to go in there and lose. I'm expected to go out there and be a flop. So if that happens, I just meet everybody's expectations, right? But if I don't, there's no ceiling. There's no ceiling. If I go out there and do what I know I'm going to do, you're looking at the new face. I'm going to be a fucking superstar because I'm going to beat everybody they put in front of me. I'm going to fuck these dudes up. That's that bottom line. There's a handful of people in BKFC right now that I think can beat me right now. You give me 3 fights in a year in this organization, and I'll hold double belts. I guarantee you.
Well, I'm glad to get you on the show now, dude.
Yeah.
I want to get you from the start.
Archive this, because in 2022, when I'm holding 2 belts, you can play this back, because I'm Conor McGregoring this shit. I'm coming through here and taking everything that I want, and I want those belts. I want the 135. I want the 145, and I may even go up and take the 155.
Fuck it, yeah, go 3 of them. I don't blame you. I like this. I like it, man. Now, with you got King Mo in your corner. You've been training with him. Through all that, I know with his experience in multiple different fighting styles, what has that brought to you?
Oh my God, man. I mean, he has so much knowledge on everything. So with the dirty boxing, with hand movement, feet placement, how to move your hips. I mean, he's known as a wrestler, but I mean he can strike as well.
Mm-hmm.
And just being able to break down movements and break down fights and break down mentalities. He's just an overall awesome ass dude. And he actually got me through all my depression. Like I didn't move out here to Florida to become a fighter. Like I own a business and shit. Like I don't need to be doing this. But it's something that's in my heart. It's something that I wanted to get back into, and I'm ready to rock and roll with it. So with him in my corner and him behind me and beside me this whole time, it's given me the confidence to know that I'm not here to fuck around. Like I'm here with the big boys. I'm not just out here on the wannabeing and hoping one day I can make it. Like I have legit people around me. I mean, I have Brock Weaver around me. I have Poirier, Mike Davis. I have legit people around me that are helping me, and I couldn't be more thankful.
Now, how did that feel? You mentioned Poirier. How did that feel after last weekend for you guys? Oh man,
I was not surprised, man. Like
right. I wasn't either, because I bet on Dustin. Not gonna lie.
I did too. Dustin is a bad motherfucker. And what I mean by that is not just as a fighter, but just as a human being. So what I'm going to do too is I'm a big supporter of his. So I'm actually going to be donating my fight purses for the remainder of my career for BKFC. I'm going to be donating every cent that I make from BKFC to the Good Fight Foundation.
Nice. You are one nice dude, man. I wish that, honestly, and this is no bullshit because you're here face to face, because if I didn't like you, I'd tell you right now. But with you saying that, your level of respect for me just went from where it was up top already to, I mean, just overboard. I mean, that shit's real right there. That's good.
Well, because I'm not, if I was out here, struggling and needing to fight for the money and stuff, then obviously I wouldn't do that.
Right.
I've been blessed in life, and I'm able to be on a big stage now, on a stage that I never thought I would be on. And I've been given these opportunities for my efforts. And I'm a big believer in what Dustin's doing with the Good Fight Foundation, and I've seen the good that he's doing, and I just want to be a part of that.
That's awesome. That's awesome, guys. make sure to follow Good Fight, because it's a
The
very
Good Fight Foundation.
Good Fight Foundation. Thank you.
Yep.
Sorry. Blah, 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 you know, some days. Now, a minute ago, you mentioned, King Mo and your new training partners and your training staff kind of helped you through depression. You know, I know that you've kind of dealt with, well, everybody's dealt with adversity in their life, but, you know, you've kind of dealt with some personal issues over the past few years. And if you want to kind of go into that as far as not in a negative way, you know, kind of tell the people, you know, it's good to get through certain things like this and keep moving forward.
Absolutely. So it's no secret. I battle severe depression. I've been depressed since I was a child. So I mean, as you can see on my face, the tattoos and shit, that's not something normal people do. So basically, I'm going through a self-inflicted divorce. I was married for 10 years, had 3 beautiful children. I had a home that we purchased. We had 3 or 4 cars, motorcycle. I had the American dream. I had the life. And I became unfaithful. I met another woman. I fell madly in love with her, and I had an affair for about 5 years, on and off. My wife finally found out about it, and she wanted to forgive me or whatever. And I just could not leave this other girl alone. She even warned me. She's like, "I'll forgive you, but if you contact her again, you're basically ending our marriage." And I told her I understood that. And I obviously just didn't care. So I kept messaging this girl, and wife found out. So long story short, she ended up cheating on me with a kid from our gym that we owned, a 24-year-old kid, and got a restraining order on me while I was out of state, and got me kicked out of my own house, and took everything that I had. She took everything that I had: the cars, the kids, my dog, my cat, all my memorabilia, sold everything that we had, and moved out of state with her, with her parents. So I left California and came out to Florida, and was probably 110, 115 pounds, severely depressed. And I came out on the whim from King Mo. Mo's like, "Come out and visit me, see Florida, see what you think, and get your mind out of this." So I came down, and that's basically what happened. Is I just started listening to him. He's been through similar situations. And I just, I figured I'm not going to let this break me. Like I caused this situation, so I can cause it to get better. You're not only responsible for the negative things in your life, you're also responsible for the positive. One thing I hate about like the religion stuff is people will be like, "Oh yeah, I fucked up and all this stuff's going bad," but when it's going good, they're like, "Oh yeah, all glory to God." And I'm not trying to disrespect people's religions, but you can't go through life thinking that God is going to fix everything for you, because he's not. You know what I mean? Like, he's not. So you have to do it yourself. So I've been in and out of custody court. I have not I've spoken to my son 2 times in the last 16 months. She's alienating me from my children, and I have no voice in court. The courts just want to postpone things or let her have it. Like, she sold my fucking house a year ago and kept all the money, and I've got nothing for it. So I wanted to use this. I wanted to use this drive to get onto a platform to be able to try to bring change to family law, because I'm not the only person going through this. You can look on my friends list and find people that are fighters, and probably 50% of them don't see their children because of a spiteful mother. And it's just not right. The only time that the courts get involved is if they want to make you pay child support. So like I even got a message. I got sponsored by a MMA t-shirt company. I got a message from them saying that they got a call from the child support division to see how much I was getting paid. Yet I call court to be able to see my children from contempt of court for my wife not letting me see them. And they want to postpone it for 4 or 5 more months. And when I tell them that's not okay, because I already haven't seen them for 3 months, they throw the fucking case out. So that's what I want to use this for. And that's the people that I'm actually doing this for, is all these broken daddies. A lot of deadbeat fathers are just broken daddies. And a lot of people don't understand the stress that we're under and how we have no footing or no voice. So all the depression came from losing the love of my life, Sarah Mayrada from Reseda, California. If you're watching this, I love you to death, and I wish you would speak to me because she don't speak to me either. The wife filled her head full of dumb shit, and yeah, she won't. I haven't talked to her either. So I lost my kids, my house, my wife, my girlfriend. If I had it, I lost it. And now I'm on the rebuilding stage. So the first step of that is to walk through Jared Grant on February 5th. The second part of that is to walk through Dat Win. And then the third part of that is to find me a title fight.
Whatever weight, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter to me.
I like it, man. I don't want to say, I'm sorry for this and this and this because, it is what it is. You are admitting your faults and
it's my fault.
You're taking it in stride. You're taking it 100% accountability. I want to disagree with you on one thing. When you say broken daddies and deadbeat dads, there's totally different things. I don't put those two in the same realm because you have situations like, yes, you fucked up, but you want to see your kids. In other aspects, you have people that fuck up continuously that do not give two shits to see their kids. There is the difference.
Yeah, well, there's a huge difference. But what I meant to say was there a lot of those deadbeat fathers started from being broken daddies, and they couldn't get themselves out. Because I'll be 100% honest with you, I haven't paid child support. I haven't paid a dime of child support, and the reason I haven't is because she told them that I made a fuck ton of money, and they wanted me to pay $3,000 a month in child support. I'm not doing that. And then when we did go to court, they didn't listen to anything I said, so I hung up on them in court. So I mean, I'll admit, as far as paying child support, I'm a deadbeat father because I'm not paying. But she's taken hundreds of thousands of dollars from me.
It sounds like she had enough from you already.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she took enough. If I knew that my kids were doing without, I would be homeless before I let them do without. But she lives with her parents. She has all the money that I made, so she has all that. So it's all good. But I don't even care about any. Like, her boyfriend still hits me up. He's probably watching this right now. He always hits me up to talk shit, but like he doesn't get that I don't give a fuck. Like,
it's not his situation to jump in.
Yeah, like, and he keeps talking about my kids and all this. Like, he just needs to tune in February 5th because Jared is going to get what I want to give to this kid. You know what I mean? And I feel sorry for him for that, but it is what it is. And, like, I just want my children to be able to see me and know that I didn't leave them, because they're telling my kids that I just took off to go do my own thing. And that's not the case. And, when they're of age, I have all the paperwork, and I'm going to show them and let them know that they were taken from me. But I can't put myself into position to where I get arrested and be dumb. Like, I've already put myself in a position where I lost in court. I can't go in and be the person that I want to be right now. So I have to be a better person. So I'm bettering myself, and thank God Nate Shook and David Feldman are giving me that platform. Because I want to do positive. I'm going in here to hurt people, but I also want to do positive things with the rewards from that.
Right.
But this is just a passion of mine, man. And like, I always knew that I would be on a big stage somehow. I just didn't think that I would be fighting on it.
Well, here you are. Less than 1 week away from the debut of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships, Knuckle Mania. You're making your debut on the biggest card of the year. That in itself is awesome.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I get to debut on the first card of the year, the baddest card of the year, the best card they've ever done, the most highly anticipated and publicized card that they've ever done. And I get to do it on a card with a legend, Chris Lieben. He's fighting a friend of mine, Quentin Henry. We're managed by the same company. I think Quentin's going to take it. But how many people can say they fought on the same card as Chris Lieben? You know what I mean? Like, that's insane. So I'm super stoked, and I'm a big fan of Johnny Bedford also. I've watched Johnny for a long time. And, I get to fight on the same card as him, and I get to fight far enough away from him where I can actually sit down and enjoy his fight.
Right.
And, it's going to mean the world to me, man. Like, this is the biggest day of my life, barring my children being born.
Right.
And as far as I'm concerned, I'm the main event. So when you see me acting a fool at weigh-ins or at the hotel, you're coming to see me. It's in my mind. You're looking at me. I'm gonna give you guys a fucking show.
I like it. I like it. Well, I will definitely be staying in tune next Friday night, all night long on bareknuckle.tv's app, because I've already been a subscriber, so I cannot wait for that.
And just the news for that. If you are a subscriber for BKTV app, you do get Knucklemania for free.
Yep.
If you are not a subscriber yet, if you do subscribe and you buy the pay-per-view for $39.99, it comes with a full year subscription to the app. So that's awesome. BKFC didn't have to do that. David Feldman didn't have to do that. He's loyal to his fan base, which I respect a ton. And he let people that have already been, that were already promised free pay-per-views, he's fulfilling that promise. So big shout out to Mr. David Feldman for that. That is awesome. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships is one of the best organizations I've ever been around. And I've been around pretty much every organization that there is. Bellator is a very, very great organization as well as LFA. But BKFC, they just take care of their people, and I love it. I love it.
There you go.
And with their people, I mean their consumers. They take care of their fighters.
Right.
But they care about their viewers. They care about, the people that are actually
not about just pocketing the money all in their pockets. They want to give it out. Yep.
Yes.
I like it.
It's awesome, man.
I like it. Brandon Malo Lambert. Everybody, here is Brandon. I got my rapid knockout segment. Okay. This is 5 questions that have absolutely zero to do with the fighting world. Are you ready?
I'm 100% ready.
All right. Number 1, favorite food?
Steak, sushi.
Steak. What kind of steak is your favorite? Filet, porterhouse, New York strip?
New York strip. Yep. New York strip or any kind of raw sushi. I love sushi.
Okay. All right. Favorite music, band, artist, genre. What do you like?
Country music. I love country.
God, I liked you until that comes.
Well, I'm listening to a lot. I listen to some hip hop. I listen to like realism hip hop. So like Kevin Gates. I listen to Young Blue, but majority of the time I'm listening to country.
Okay. I won't hold that against you. Favorite sport other than combat?
Football, college football.
Who's your team?
I don't have a team. I go by players.
Okay. If you were to pick a team right now, who would you be watching?
I would say probably LSU. I've always liked LSU or Ohio State.
Oh, God.
I'm controversial, man.
Man. You know that I'm from Indiana, so God's country is only 2.5 hours away from me in South Bend, Indiana. Okay, with the Golden Dome and all. I know, and you like Ohio State. I got enough of them around here.
Well, that's because I'm not a big fan of Indiana, man. Like I'm not. So
right, that's why you're not here.
Yeah, I got the fuck out of there as soon as I could. I like Ohio State because they were pretty much always dominant and they're always in the running. You know what I mean? Right. They're not just like a flash bang school where every now and then they make the playoffs or every now and then they get a good player. Like they put more people in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. That team's put more people in the NFL than any other college football team.
Them or Alabama, one of the two. They're probably pulling for each other's.
Yeah, I forgot that Bama has a bunch of people too. So that might be who I was thinking of, but.
Oh, well, good thing you didn't say Alabama. I'm fine with you saying Ohio State then. I hear enough about Alabama.
Yeah, I'm not a big Roll Tide fan.
All right. Favorite role model, whether that be personal role model growing up or somebody in the sports realm that you've always looked up to, or both.
I mean, a role model.
Besides me. Now that you know me,
you interrupted me. I was going to say you too. So fuck. That's a tough one. That's not a good knockout question because that takes a while. I don't know. A good role model. I would say David Goggins, man.
Wow. Okay.
I listen to him a lot. I like his philosophy, and I like the way he talks. He doesn't have to be in a business suit and tell you intellectual things. He can say, "Suck it the fuck up," and you get what he says.
Right.
You know, so I would say right now, I would say David Goggins is a really good role model for me right now.
Okay. And everybody needs to look that guy up too.
Yes.
Favorite hobby?
Playing poker.
Playing poker. Are
Texas
we a
Hold'em.
Texas Hold'em guy? Okay. All right.
Texas Hold'em. Yeah.
So when will we see you on the World Series of Poker? Is that in the limelight some down the road too?
Maybe. It just depends on how this money starts coming in. I start making more money, I'll start gambling more. Ever since the divorce, I had to stop gambling so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want to be, because I have played at those events. I have played at the World Series of Poker. I've played in the bicycle, because I lived in California for a long time, so I was at the bicycle lot, Commerce, WPT. That's the one I was trying to think of.
Okay.
The World Poker Tour.
Yep.
So I've been to a bunch of them, and I didn't buy into the main event, but I've been at the main event, and I've bought into satellites, and I've played, the lower levels of the main event, like when they have the 2 weeks of different tournaments. I've played in a few of those.
Okay. All right. Well, there you have it, folks. Brandon Malo Lambert getting ready to make his debut at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship in 6 days at Knuckle Mania. Brandon, thank you for coming on really quick. Before I let you go, I want you to give shout outs to whoever you want to see fit. Here's your platform, sir.
Awesome. Well, I want to tell my kids, Leonidas Cruz, Indiana Scarlet, and Aspen Gracie, I love you very much. Daddy will see you soon. I'm going to make sure of it. I hope you're tuning in on February 5th. I want to tell Zara May Rada from Reseda, California, I'm still deeply, madly in love with you. Nobody makes me feel the way that you do. I don't want to be with nobody else but you. I want to thank King Mo for taking me under his wing and getting me ready for this. I want to thank Brock Weaver for being in my corner on this and getting me ready. I want to thank American Top Team, Gabriel Oliveira, JC Santana from the Institute of Human Performance in Boca Raton. That's where Gilbert Burns is training at right now for strength and conditioning. Wait till you see what he does and puts a whooping on Usman, and that'll tell you exactly why you need to go to Boca Raton and see JC Santana. I want to thank all my sponsors. Message. I want to thank all my sponsors. On it, First Form, the Turp House, obviously. Dr. McNabb from Boca Raton, also a great chiropractor. My nutritionist, the Fight Nutritionist. She's on IG, the Fight _nutritionist, Jackie Kaminsky. Again, my strength and conditioning coach, JC Santana, and Conan Salvera for putting everything together for me. I'm very, very grateful for the team that I have around me, and I cannot wait for the rest of this year. And big shout out to GOAT Combat Agency, setting up this interview and a lot of the other interviews, and allowing me to do my thing. I love you guys very, very much, Scott and Vince, and the rest of the team. And I want to thank you so much for the time. Thank you, BWS Sports.
Hey, thank you for coming on, taking the opportunity to give me a great interview. Everybody, Brandon Malo Lambert, he going to see him debut them bare knuckles in BKFC's Knuckle Mania February 5th, 2021. And is it Lakeland, right? It's actually in Lakeland,
it's in Lakeland. Yeah, it's at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland on Lime Street.
There you go.
If you need a link to to get to the fights, you can go to my IG at mr.malo951. Go to my bio, click the link, sign up. You're good to go. You're rocking. You can follow me on Facebook, Brandon Malo Lambert. Yeah, I mean that's about it. Just definitely follow me on social media. You will not regret it. I promise you.
I'm having a good time with it.
So, and the more it goes along, I don't really have. There's not much on like I'm really not excited. I'm excited about my debut. I'm just really not excited about this matchup, so that's why I haven't really talked a whole lot of shit.
Walk through it like you're planning on it, and then we get that mic in front of you to call out your next victim, and then we'll start seeing the full Brandon Lambert come out.
Yeah, you're gonna see the Malo come out whenever I get a matchup that I'm excited about. And like I said, it's no disrespect to Jared. He's in there doing his thing, but I just don't think he has anything for me.
There you go. We're getting ready to see it all go down in less than a week. Brandon, thank you again for your time. We definitely appreciate having you on. We'll look forward to having you on again. And knuckle up, toe the line, throw them knuckles. I was about to say throw them bows, but no, we can't do that.
I wish I could. Fuck, that'd be so amazing.
Brandon, thanks again, man. Appreciate the time. We'll be seeing you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the time, boss.
Thanks, man. Peace.